Stitches. His two abilities are Scissors and Jackbots. Jackbots is very helpful locating where the survivors are located, and his Scissors is just a base attack. The best thing about Stitches is his mobility, to be able to jump up in different areas and be able to just attack differently. But his chatbots, you want to set them at the generators, especially ones that are not being used. Put them right where they're about to go, and yeah, it works great. Now, the skins I have I have the regular, I have this one I'm wearing right now, which I recently unlocked. I have the regular, and I have the DLC one. I like the DLC one, but I got this new one, and I think it looks pretty cool. So this gives you the loadout. So what I'm using is Springboard, a lot of ability to double jump. This is a must-have, especially for him. And I have Slip and Slide, Stitch and Slides under scaffolds, dealing 50 damage to it, which comes in handy, especially when they're sliding for you to chase right after them. You don't have to jump over or anything. And it does damage to the scaffolding, which comes very handy. Now, if you don't have this one, the one I've been having was, let's see, playtime after killing a survivor. All other survivors are highlighted for 3 seconds, which comes in handy big time. If you're not using that one, then I would use obvious lifts. Jackpot trigger silent. Triggered players cannot hear heartbeat for 7 seconds. That does come in handy. I would recommend not using ground pound unless you're trying to do a daily, because it only does 1 tick of damage and it does slow you down. I wish there was some kind of stun to it. Then I might actually use it a little bit more, but there's no stun to it, so it slows you down and it only does 1 tick of damage. It's cool to get it if you're like jumping up in the air and you want to slam onto him. That does help, but only if you're getting the final kill for it. That's the only thing it's really worth then. Do not use True Sight. True Sight is horrible. Does not work correctly unless you are really good with it, which I am not. I rather use Dark Sight. True Sight, you have to be real close and be in range of them. Like if they went around a corner and you're just not sure which direction they went, then that might help you. But do not use it. Rated to blow. I'll use that for dailies, or if I'm in the mood to just throw it at people and get 1 tick of damage. Now, Ultimates, I am using Jump Scare where the survivor is detected by chatbots. The survivor loses 50% of the stamina, which comes in big time handy, especially if you're close and they trigger it. They're going to jump off the generator and also not be able to run as fast or as far. And then surprise jetbots, the highlights duration increased to 4 seconds, which helps you keep an eye on which way they're going for a longer time. Now, before I had Jump Scare, I used Uninvited, straight heartbeat ratio to 80% of the normal size, which does come in handy if you're closer. So if you do not have this one or this one, I recommend Uninvited. So yeah, and then I get all these add-ons to it. Highlight Survivor to activate Distraction for 3 seconds. I'm stun time Harvey and reduce melee cooldown. Now, there are other perks, but these are the ones I'm using so far, and which have come in handy big time.
Attention viewer, if you enjoyed that video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe.